hello to all the mystics and the dreamers out there. Hello to everyone in YouTube land. My name is Belle, and I have an interesting topic for today's Mystic Philosophy broadcast, or whatever I'm calling this. I think the title of this one might be The Question of Channeling Energy. And as soon as you get into New Age literature at all, you find yourself coming across all these different people who channel different energies, and usually people will channel what they call ascended masters. So people are channeling wise people, other wise energies. And I don't know exactly how it works. There's a lot of information out there about channeling if you just do a quick internet search. But the thing that's interesting to me is a couple of different things. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what my experience has been just being exposed to the literature of what's channeled. So within a short period of time, in the last couple of days, I read 2 different accounts of channeling, and both of these descriptions of channeling were supposed to be of the same energy, but they were very different. So that was really interesting to me. So here they are, 2 different people are probably going into some type of meditative state, and they're trying to reach out and make contact with a universal energy of a wise person. And they were both trying to reach out to the same type of universal energy, but their results that they got were very different. And the first thing I read didn't really resonate with me. It sounded a little bit like something that you just wanted to hear. It didn't sound that realistic to me. I'm not going to say what the exact books are because I don't think that's important. It's more of the examples. And the second description I read was a lot more interesting to me. I don't know if that necessarily means it was more accurate or more realistic or what. So I just think that's really interesting that, first of all, the fact that we have our personal individual selves, and then within a meditative state, some people describe that they are able to channel a wise energy, something that would have information or words of wisdom that we can relate to on planet Earth. So that whole concept is interesting in and of itself. Like, are we really so lost on planet Earth that we really need to reach out to unknown energies within the universal sense of things and make some type of contact where we're trying to draw down information that we think will be more useful to us than what we're gathering in other ways? So that I didn't even write that one down, but that's kind of interesting to me too. So all of this makes me think of kind of the fact that 2 examples of trying to channel the same thing, and they're very different. First of all, it makes me think of the fuzziness of expanding your awareness. It seems like we are on individual paths in life, and I don't know, a lot of people say we're all going to the same place. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like we're all going in the same direction. I feel like we're kind of at a crossroads on planet Earth right now, and I don't think we're all going to the same place. I think we're all taking our unique paths or roads and going where we want to go, learning and growing in the way that we want to. So it seems like the more that an individual expands his or her awareness, the less it relates to another person's experience. So that's kind of weird, because I feel like a lot of spirituality will say like we're all talking about the same thing, but from what I can tell, we're not all talking about the same thing. I think, and that sounds kind of weird because I know that a lot of people in spirituality are into an idea of interconnectedness and oneness, but I think when you get down to it, the individual has a role in interpretation, which leads me to my next point, about how there's a unique interpretation to everything. So this idea I actually got from discussing mystic philosophy with my husband Joey, and he had this idea that I really like. That okay, so I probably need a diagram of this, but it's like you have your personal sense of yourself, your personal sense of energy, and then there's kind of like an interface, which could be a type of boundary, and then you have universal energies or universal archetypes that are beyond that boundary. And in order to make any type of contact or any type of reaching out towards a universal energy, you would have to cross that boundary. And then when you're in contact with that universal energy, you're still going to be interpreting it through your own individual lens. I hope that makes sense. So I don't know if there's another way to explain it, but it's almost like if you're in a smaller circle, then there's a bigger circle. You have to cross that boundary of the smaller circle, and when you draw down that information, or whatever you want to call it, that type of energy, it's going to be interpreted through your own way of seeing the world. So that means like there's billions of ways of interpreting everything, which is pretty interesting, because I think usually it seems like we feel like we're all talking about the same things. We're like, if you describe the ocean, we're all talking about the same ocean, and of course a lot of times we are, because we're experiencing the same environment and consensus reality. But I'm just wondering if maybe the more and more we have expanded awareness, the more and more we are in contact with different universal energies or archetypes, and at each time we're in contact with the universal energy, we're interpreting it in our own unique way. So we're going to be building up a unique experience, and the more and more we experience, the more different that's going to be from anyone else. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And to relate this back to daily life, it kind of reminds me to just be myself. And I don't know if that's what this reminds you, the viewer, of, but I don't know. I've been trying to get on the same page with a lot of different universal wisdom, but I feel like I have to live up to my own best ideals, have my own sense of wonder, my own sense of curiosity. Yeah. I don't know. This is kind of taking a leap for me to even do a video about channeled energy, because it's a little bit far out to me. I know for some people it's like not that far out. For other people it's unheard of. So once again, we have the unique experience of each person. If you have any thoughts about archetypes or channeling, or the way that we each have a unique experience on our spiritual path, feel free to leave a comment or contact me on Twitter if you feel like it. Anyway, yeah, I hope this broadcast or this YouTube video was thought-provoking, if nothing else, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot.